Hello everyone, and welcome back to the top 4 of the Des Plaines, Illinois City Championship. Who are you?
I'm Michael Pramawat.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It's the first time we met, right?
Yeah. Hi,
Hey.
nice to meet you. I'm Kyle Sucevich, and we will be your commentators today for this top 4 match between Austin Reed and Adam Bigott. So I think Austin's playing, well, we know Austin's playing Blastoise. I saw him in Swiss. And I think Adam's playing Garbodor. So what do you think about this?
That should be a fun matchup.
Yeah, well, it's not too often we get to see Garbodor.
Yeah, you know, Garbodor is one of those cards where everyone like knows it's like potentially very good, but no one's really found a way to like keep it stable, keep it like protected. It's kind of like that. I don't know.
It's always like it's a threat in the distance, but you never expect anyone to actually use it. It's there. You know it's there. You're always kind of scared in the back of your mind. Is someone actually going to play this? And you're like, nah.
Yeah.
But then someone actually played it.
Yeah, the real key is tool scrappers. The number of tool scrappers. One is not enough.
Yeah.
You
might have
actually
to play any.
Yeah, if you actually need at least 2 in order to like do anything versus this.
Yeah, I guess let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I don't actually know what he's playing, but he's been using it every day at the marathon.
Well, assuming today is no different, we should be in for a little bit of a treat.
Yeah.
You know, and Austin Reed, he's 7-0 Swiss.
Yeah.
Made it through top 8. This guy's on a roll.
Yeah, I mean, Blastoise has been widely regarded as one of the best decks, if not the best deck in the format so far. And he's just making another run with it. We've seen a ton of players do it. I guess let's just see how they're doing, setting up. And Austin mulliganed. And we'll start off with a 1-card advantage. And actually, that looks like a Hollow deck. Or maybe an Eel deck.
I saw a Lightning and a Fighting Energy. Well, Garbodor is probably out the window, maybe.
Sorry, guys.
We'll see. Maybe there's a splash of Garbodor. Yeah, you know, Austin, he's like 7-0, goes through top 8. Like, an interesting thing, though, about all the cities so far in the Chicago Marathon is all 7-0s have been Blastoises.
Yeah, they've been Blastoise, too.
Yeah. But only one Blastoise has made it out, and it's the champion of the city.
Yeah, there's a 5-2 player.
Yeah.
Jay Hornung.
Yeah, so it's, you know, well, the way this looks, I hope it's not a curse. We'll see. You know, you never know. Maybe one of the Blastoise players will be like, hey, maybe I should just go 6-1 next time.
Yeah, I guess. I see a level ball in Adam's hand, so I think it is Eelektrik.
Okay, so this is an interesting matchup. You know, it's kind of like the matchup we saw previously, except without your bench taking damage.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly feel like if the Rayquaza Eelektrik deck sets up, it actually has an advantage over Blastoise. If you can just Dragon Burst for 180 every turn, you win. And
yep, this confirms it. And this is a very good starter for Adam. You know,
yeah, I agree.
Squirtle, 60 HP. Rayquaza, coincidentally, does 60 damage for 1
energy.
discard. Yeah. So, you know, this is a nice starter, and Rayquaza is one of those cards, like you said, if Eelektrik sets up, then Blastoise can't really do anything. But Blastoise actually takes less cards to set up, which is a little weird as it sounds.
Yeah.
When you think about like how many like energies fall into the field with Blastoise, but a little less cards to set up. Thus, Blastoise is a little faster, can get some tempo advantage before the big bad Rayquazas come in and kind of bring thunder into the sky or whatever.
Something I noticed about Austin when we saw him play, he doesn't play Tropical Beach in his Blastoise deck, which is a card that's been pretty much a staple now because, I mean, what else are you going to do on your first turn? And if you're with a Skylo, why not go for Tropical Beach, right? And I don't think he plays it. I haven't seen it. Maybe he has one that I just haven't seen yet. But what do you think about that?
To be frank, I actually just dislike that. Like, I can't, you know, Tropical Beach is such a, it's made for stage 2 decks.
Yeah. I might bite my tongue because I can't tell if one of those cards in his hand is Tropical Beach, but just continue.
So, like, you know, if I'm just gonna assume he'd still like he may or may not. But if if he doesn't run it for like the sake of space, I kind of dislike that because like you're gonna need to beach eventually. Otherwise, like you're just gonna accept a loss at some point. Which I just don't like. Saying hey, if I draw really well, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
If I don't, well, better not next time. So.
I think the way he's playing everything, I think they're actually the tropical beaches.
Yeah. So there it is.
Okay.
See?
All that talk.
He's sane.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. One of the reasons why I cannot play this deck on Pokemon TCG Online is because Tropical Beach is not there. It just makes the deck so much better, so much more stable, and I'm glad to see Austin actually does play it.
Yeah, Tropical Beach is a really versatile card. It's even like I could even see it in like electric decks. There's not a really strong turn one from electric anyways.
Yeah.
You can just like dump your hand, like spend all your Ultra Balls, Undynamos, Level Balls, all that. You may not have a supporter, or you can use Skyla for it, and then you just draw a new 7 cards, and then you're just good.
Yeah, it's true. And the Eelektrik is a deck, like you said, it needs a lot to set up. So it is a deck that's kind of clunky.
We see a Raikou EX come down, and he's just gonna beach.
Thanks, Austin. I needed that as well.
Yeah. So the Raikou can come into play. If Adam gets like maybe aggressive with the Rayquazas and does like 2 energy hits, and then Raikou can finish off a EX.
Yep.
That could be very viable.
Unfortunately, Raikou cannot hit a Squirtle while it's on the bench. It takes away a lot of its utility.
I don't know about you, but I think if like a Squirtle gets hit by a big thunderbolt or something from the sky, I don't think hiding in the shell really should block that much.
I don't know. He's got a pretty thick shell.
I guess
at least this Squirtle does. It's kind of like in the Pokemon episodes. I mean, sometimes they just do things that don't make sense. Like I remember there's an episode where there's a ground type that just went swimming, so it would be able to like take water attacks better.
Sandshrew.
Yeah. Like, no, that's not how Pokemon works actually. But this Squirtle, that's how Pokemon works for this Squirtle.
I always liked it when they just go dodge.
Yeah.
Or like be ready to evade the attack.
Yeah.
Now do it.
Or it would be something random like, quick, go underground. I'm like, that's not an attack. You can't do that.
But we do see a Blastoise coming down from the Ultra Ball search. So this is like, this is real. Oh man, turn 2 Blastoise, Russians, and.
This is always scary when you're on the other side of this.
Yeah, I've seen this many times.
Oh yeah. When they Ultra Ball for that Blastoise turn 2, I'm just like, again.
Honestly, I'm almost at the point where it's like if I see Ultra Ball, I'm just like, no.
Oh, did Austin miss? He only has 1 water in his hand.
Ooh.
He used the catcher to bring out the Dynamo because he realizes that his way to win this matchup is to, well, whatever his deck does, just knock out Eelektrik. And he used a catcher. It might not work. I think he's only got 1 water.
This is a big deal, actually.
Yeah.
So let's look at like the result of this. Sure, Austin has a Blastoise. He has a Keldeo. He even has another Squirtle just in case this Blastoise falls.
Yeah.
However, he's used a catcher. Hasn't gotten anything effective done this turn.
Yeah.
And Adam can still set up. Like, if Adam reaches critical mass, it doesn't matter how fast Austin set up.
Yeah. Just want to take a second to give a shout out to Adam. He has his own YouTube channel where he posts matches and some other like playtesting stuff. It's PokeBro921, I think. So check him out on YouTube. He does a lot of good stuff for the community as well. So I'm glad we're able to feature him here too.
Alright, so he gets an Ultra Ball with the Skyla. So do you think maybe he's just like, hey, I can just get all of my Dynamos and then beach for a lot?
Probably.
Yeah.
He switched to the Raikou, gets the Eelektrik out of here. He's gonna be able to Dynamotor 1 to the Rayquaza. And yeah, he's probably just happy sitting back on the beach.
And yeah, this is gonna be like a tough situation for
Austin,
yeah, like the only thing, ooh, even the attachment. So like now what Austin has to do is do something like ridiculous. He's gonna need like 4 energies on that Keldeo. He's gonna need a catcher for the Rayquaza.
Yeah.
Like at this point, the time to knock out Eelektrik has kind of passed.
And like I was saying, if you let the Eelektrik deck set up, it actually will beat Blastoise just doing 180 every turn. There's no way you can keep up with that, even with the Keldeo deck. Like, you can't keep putting 6 water energy on a Keldeo. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's just numbers.
Yeah.
You know, it takes 6 plus the Keldeo, that's 7 cards to knock out a Rayquaza. And Rayquaza requires really just 2 out of your hand.
Yeah.
The Rayquaza and the fire energy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be lopsided if Austin can get completely set up.
I mean, it just seems like no matter what, there's always 2 cards that just refuse to die. Number 1 is Eelektrik. Number 2 is Darkrai. They just, no matter what happens to the format, these guys just never leave us.
Well, you know, if we break it down, Eelektrik really is the best energy accelerator in the game right now. However, he's good in large numbers.
Yeah.
Whereas Blastoise is like, hey, I'm pretty good too, you only need me, just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. So,
it's a bigger Pokemon. Squirtle's not as vulnerable to early knockouts, which is really just the bane of the Eelektrik decks, being knocked out by Darkrai and Landers.
However, in terms of like card slots in your deck, they're actually about the same. You know, because the Blastoise is a stage 2, it's forced to run Rare Candy, and then because Eelektrik is a stage 1, it can run a little bit more utility cards. Like it's forced to play Force Switch because its retreat cost is so high.
Yeah, so Austin will get a knockout on this Eelektrik. He catchered it out. He's got the 3rd energy finally. And 1 Electrik's going to go down, but now here comes Rayquaza, and Keldeo's going down.
Oh yeah, real fast. And now like, what's going to be real scary is if Adam can pop down 2 Dynamos, then it's like...
Easier said than done, but yeah.
Well, he's already getting 1 with this level ball, you know? And Austin is down 2 catchers.
Yeah, that's scary.
2 catchers for 1 prize is not very effective.
Catcher is like your most valuable resource in this format.
Yeah, I always hate discarding catcher to anything. It's like...
Ooh, talk about discarding.
Yeah, however, he still has Super Rod.
That's true. But I think he discarded 2 or 3 fires, another Juniper, and...
2 fires, yeah.
2 fire, 3 Juniper. He had a full house.
However, I mean, that's a blow. Like when...
That's a big blow. But you know what? He actually didn't really play many supporters in the opening turns. He actually just used Tropical Beach every turn.
You know, like, if he can get out his board completely...
Yeah, he's going to pop out 2 more
then
times. What do you know?
The big worry about discarding all those Junipers kind of is like N.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna be really aggressive here. He's gonna go up on prizes, and the one thing that can like really put a stop to all of this is N. Well,
there goes a Skyro, by the way.
Yeah, good thing Eelektrik really just plays the board after a certain point. It's like, yeah, you already get everything on the board. Just kind of deal with it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Adam's got 1 Eelektrik. He's got 2 more Dynamos out there. This is rough territory for Austin. It doesn't even look like he has a Keldeo in his hand. The beach is gone. He's being forced to attack with Mewtwo here. Does he have... I mean, he's got a couple energy retrievals, but geez, he would need 8 energy from Mewtwo to get a knockout here, and I don't think he wants to do that.
Yeah, if Adam can drop down 1 or 2 more Electrics, it's like, I hate the call game's over, but, you know...
I've been burned a few times saying that,
but like... There's no cards like Crushing Hammer and Blastoise.
Yeah.
It might be a little different to Darkrai. You know, the bench damage, it really adds up. However, I think there's a Lightning in Adam's hand, so not too big of a deal.
He needs just second Eelektrik and Lightning. Down goes Mewtwo, and goes down to 2 prizes.
Yeah, this is becoming a very like anticlimactic. It's just like, yeah, we're just kind of... You're just watching Rayquaza do his thing. You know, he just gets in there.
And that's kind of how Eelektrik decks are. Like, once they get set up, it's just kind of like inevitable doom coming your way. You can't do anything about it once there's 3 electrics in play. It's just, well, I know I'm going to get hit for 180 next turn.
Kind of like the slow-moving train when you're just standing on the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about it.
You just have enough time to go,
Well, this
ah!
sucks. Alright, so Adam is going to Ultra Ball away an N and a Fire. And he's gonna
Yep,
grab
there's
it.
the second Electric. So,
Yeah.
ooh, and the Dynamos are back in, you know.
He shuffled in 1 Dynamo, 1 Electric, and a Fire.
Oh, so I guess that maybe might indicate either a Fire's prize.
Well, he
or,
did have to Juniper away a bunch of them.
Yeah, however, maybe a Fire's prize and like maybe.
Keldeo of his own, by the way.
I'm just trying to get a count on like how many Fires he plays. Maybe like 4 or 5, you know.
Usually like 5 is the number.
Yeah, but like you can cut corners sometimes if you really need to.
Yeah, I agree. So we know he has at least 1 more in his deck.
Yes.
That's the important thing. He'll probably only need 1 more if this Rayquaza gets knocked out.
So now this is interesting because I'm not too sure about the Keldeo bench. It's like cool, I guess, but
There's not too much of a downside to it.
yeah.
It's a fallback plan if your Electric is catching and you don't have a switch.
Here's like the desperation move. We're seeing Blastoise get in there.
Yeah, it's interesting that Austin actually promoted Squirtle instead of a Blastoise. This kind of makes it tougher for him to attack with Blastoise.
However, there is a Skyro, so
Oh yeah, that thing.
that thing has been like the cause for many troubles.
Yeah, I just thought that card was gone forever, man. Once Smeargle was rotated out,
Yeah.
once Celebi was gone and Smeargle, there's no place for you anymore, Skyarrow. But
Well-
it's still legal.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually only a few decks that kind of like can run it. Like Electric is one of them, and it just happened to be around back then. So it's like, hey, you were good before. You're still good now.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna see Hydro Pump for 100. This is one way to go about it.
Yeah.
This actually isn't as bad as it would seem, honestly. Adam's at 2 prizes. If Austin were to attack with an EX, he just kind of loses.
Mm-hmm.
So, a second Super Rod, by the way.
Ooh, that's very valuable information. It's good that Austin doesn't really scoop here. The game 1 hasn't really taken a lot of time.
Yeah.
And he can take this time, learn the deck, play as little as possible. Like, you're not really going to get a water energy count, really, from this game. And
if Austin or if Adam doesn't have, he would need a switch and lightning to knock out this Blastoise. If he doesn't have that, and then Austin would need his 4th catcher, he could bring out Rayquaza and knock it out with Blastoise, and then all it takes is 1 more EX knockout and he could win.
well, here comes a...
Oh, did Adam attach lightning to his Raikou?
He did. I'm not really sure why. Maybe he's going for like a Volt Bolt. Okay. I kind of like this. I like this. So basically what he's
I
saying...
hope he doesn't pick the Squirtle.
I'm just going to give him the benefit
I
of the
know.
doubt.
It's just, I don't want to see it happen, that's all.
Okay. There's always that awkward moment where you're just like, please know what the card does. Please know what the card does. I've actually seen people like Night Spear into it.
Top deck to Juniper.
Very nice. So once that third Electric gets up and running, this game is all but over. Like,
Austin here, if he wants to Hydro Pump again, he would have to get a Keldeo and rush in and retreat. Or if I guess he could put 4 more energy on this Blastoise if he has it.
I guess that's...
I don't like that, but...
You're almost at, like, the point where you're forced to do it.
Yeah, he's played an energy retrieval. He has an Ultra Ball and a Juniper. I suppose he could Ultra Ball, discard a Water and a Mewtwo, grab a Keldeo, rush in, Water. He has Sky Arrow, so it's a 1 retreat. And then Juniper. Otherwise, he's just going to put energy on Blastoise and Juniper.
There isn't much else to see from Adam's deck. It's fairly standard, unless you see like he's trying to fish out max potion, but you know they can get mind games like, well, I'm gonna win this game anyways, so I'm not gonna play my like little tech cards. So it's really like just waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a water onto Keldeo, Juniper, or 7.
However, like you know, he can still get
That's a lot of blue.
he can still get a ton of water energies onto the Keldeo. One shot the Raikou.
It's a 3rd Blastoise.
Yeah, that's like so many.
Alright, so we got a Russian, Retreat, and a Hydro Pump.
And it's nice that the retreat is only one because of Sky Arrow.
Yeah, that's very nice. But what is Austin gonna do with the rest of his hand? He's got 3 waters, another Keldeo, and another Squirtle.
You know,
Can he realistically win this game attacking with Blastoises?
no, probably not. Like, well, maybe. I mean, like, if Adam just doesn't have another attacker ever,
Yeah.
then I guess, yeah, sure, why not? However, he really needs to take a knockout, and like by not taking knockout on the Raikou, what's gonna happen is, sure, you may have hit this guy, but I can maybe get a catcher. If he has catcher, the game's probably over.
Yeah, catcher. He's gonna get another Eelektrik here, so just a catcher's game
At
over.
this-
I think even the 30 Eelektrik is probably game over.
At this point, you can even put like 3 lightnings on the Keldeo.
And just rush in and
Yeah.
Secret Sword. Yeah.
Yeah, do 50, one. That's a knockout.
Give them a taste of their own medicine. Yeah.
Save that Rayquaza for later.
Knocking out a Blastoise with a Keldeo with 3 lightning on it. That's doesn't get more insulting than that.
I think if I had the choice, that would be my like game finisher. It's like how can I can win just doing 50? Well, I could win with Electric Ball.
He drew a
or-
catcher.
Okay, so that's the game.
Yep. And this is the power of Eelektrik. I mean, we saw it in top 8 with Quinn. He hit some rough patches where he, lost. But
Yeah, those are actually the roughest of patches.
and, just like that, Adam wins game 1 in a fairly convincing fashion. Just kind of got his Rayquaza out and blew stuff up.
So he flips over Energy Search. I kind of think he runs maybe like 4 Fire, 1 Energy Search, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah,
It's
with
not bad.
with a 2 Super Rod. Yeah.
It's not bad at all. So that was an interesting match. Kind of went like a little bit how we expected it. Like, there reaches a certain point in the setup war that Eelektrik just doesn't get beat.
Right.
And
I mean, if Blastoise, I guess Blastoise has to get set up first, otherwise it loses. Or if it at least takes out the Electrics, then it's your only way of coming back.
yeah. We kind of saw this during regionals. When setup decks would fight each other, it was the Hydreigon versus Eelektrik.
Yeah.
However, all Hydreigon would just lose if Eelektrik ever got set up. And then that pros the question, well, how does Eelektrik get the time to set up? We saw Victini being the answer there.
Yeah.
However, here, Blastoise isn't that fast.
Right. And
The
even if
former-
it is, it doesn't have Night Spear.
Yeah, the real damage was the bench damage that added up over the course of the game. Ended up being 2 prizes. You ended up losing your entire field,
Yeah.
things like that. So it's really cool to see Eelektrik kind of survive in this kind of format.
Yeah, I agree. It just keeps finding ways to adapt. A card that good is never going away. Just get a Lightning Energy back from your discard pile and attach to one of your Pokemon.
Yeah,
I guess that's okay.
the real like wall for Eelektrik was Landorus EX. However, unfortunately for Landorus, weak to water.
Yeah.
And you know what everyone here is playing? Well, not everyone, but like maybe I would almost say 50%.
Well, maybe it's getting close.
Yeah, Blastoise.
Well,
Yeah, so no one's playing Landorus because all there's Blastoise, and Electric's like, wow, that's pretty cool. You're
Yeah.
making room for me? Thanks, guys.
this is like some sick metagame stuff going on during this marathon. Like day 1 was Blastoise dominating, so then like Landorus decks go away, so then the Electric decks come back. And now I wonder what's gonna happen next.
Well, now it's like the Eelektrik decks came back, so Darkrai decks come back.
Well, Darkrai came back yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, it's like on the way back.
And we still got the other side of the bracket. We do have Matt Moss versus Caitlin Young, and both are playing Darkrai. Caitlin's using Hydreigon, and Matt's just using straight Darkrai. So
interesting matchup.
So we got game 2 starting up. Austin is going first, of course. Attaches and passes.
All right, so
It can mean one of two things: a very bad hand or a very good hand.
yeah, it does actually. Like I almost like want to end those hands away from Blastoise. Like it's funny. I've seen that like happen so many times. So I just go, just like by the way they act, it's like how confident do their eyes look?
Yeah.
And that's literally the only information you get.
Yeah, I mean, it could either be a handful of junk or rare candy Blastoise, 2 water Juniper.
It doesn't even have to have the water. You're just like rare candy Blastoise Juniper. Oh yeah, we did it.
Exactly. I guess we'll find out next turn.
And what is with all these electric decks?
Oh, yikes. 3 Dynamos, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you read the flavor text, but they form a chain, or they travel in schools or something like that.
I did know that, and I did read it. You know, I remember.
They like to stick together.
I remember last year when I was running Eelektrik, I would always get 3 out like turn 1. And it's just like weird seeing it now when there's actually less consistency for the early game.
Rare candy Blastoise, Juniper coming. Sorry, just had to point that out.
It's like the best of everything.
Let's see whose God Start is better than the others. Turn 2 Secret Sword. He catches the Dynamo too.
This is a weird situation. However, you know, if Adam plays like Sky Arrow, double Eelektrik, somehow gets 2 lightning.
Yeah, he's gonna try to one-up him.
Yeah, this is like the. If that happens,
I'm just gonna sit here and shake my head. This stuff that shouldn't happen.
you know. Wow, that's like crazy.
Yeah, I think.
There's no way. No way.
I think turn 2. This is probably the most realistic, like God Start we have in the format right now. I think this is like the best thing you can hope for of any deck. Just turn 2 Rare Candy Blastoise and Secret Sword. I think that's probably the strongest thing we have right now.
I don't know. We might be seeing a turn 2 Dragon Blast for 180.
Yeah, I mean, that just seems less realistic to me. Like, you need so many more things.
Yeah, because, you know, turn 2 Blastoise, Secret Sword, Catcher on, like...
Turn 2, I know. It seems absurd, but I think I've probably played against Blastoise 8 times this weekend already, and it's probably happened to me 50% of the games.
So what happened to the other 50%? You just won?
Well, I won most of them. But oh, there's one game where I had a Sigilyph, so you had to turn 2 Hydro Pump me with Blastoise instead.
Yeah, that's always cool. And that's another interesting thing about the metagame. Because there's so many EXs now, Sigilyph is really good.
Alright, so we do have turn 2 Secret Sword, knocking out a Dynamo. How will Adam respond to this? He actually promotes the Rayquaza with the fire.
That tells me he does not have the switch. Ooh, maybe.
I guess at the very least he just wants to do damage this turn.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. Like, assuming Austin just doesn't drop 3 more waters, right?
Right.
This is cool because now what can happen is Adam can, like, drop a fire on the bench Rayquaza or next turn after, like, 2 Dynamotors, and then boom, you know?
Oh, did he not have any lightning in his discard?
No.
No, so you can't even Dynamo to that turn.
And a lack of support.
Yeah, it's kind of a lack of everything. I think Austin's got the better start here.
Well, Dynamos certainly swim together, but sometimes that's just not enough.
Yeah, Austin is contemplating putting on Pokemon Center. I like that. He can rush in with 1 Keldeo, Pokemon Center, rush in again. Now it forces the Dragon Burst to be a 3 energy knockout again.
Yeah, it kind of like returns the play to what it, like Austin wants it to be.
Right, that's a game changer. Just having to use that one extra energy, it's a complete game changer.
One thing he has to like worry about is that lone Blastoise.
That's true.
You know, if like even though Adam might find it worth it to use 3 energies, assuming Keldeo doesn't go
He
like
just puts
6.
Pokemon Center on his bench. Russian's not that good. You don't get to just have a Pokemon Center on your bench.
Pokemon Center maybe also secretly says, "Hey, only my turn."
This is my Pokemon Center now.
It just on their turn.
Doors
it just,
closed.
On their turn, it just closes down for the night.
All right, so we're gonna see. I guess just the lightning attachment. I would hope a Dynamotor.
Yep.
Here we go.
So this is
And Dragon Burst for 60.
Yeah.
A much slower game for Adam this game.
yeah. This is where Blastoise is just gonna like. We kind of talked how the matchup goes. You know, if Adam can get fully going, then before Austin can get a lot of tempo, then Adam probably wins. However, we're seeing the opposite of this now, where, you know, Austin just got a really fast start. Adam's just going, oh no, where are all my supporters? I can't draw anything. And now we're just going to see probably a complete opposite of game 1, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in the first game, Adam also had this kind of a hand. Just Tropical Beach bailed him out.
Yeah, that's true.
So it seems like both games he's kind of had rough opening hands. At least the first game he just kind of drew out of it with Austin's Tropical Beach.
Well, I think the game might be over if like Austin somehow drops 6 energies on both Keldeos.
Yeah, games are usually over at that point. Okay, so we do have Fire and a Dynamotor.
Needs a switch.
Yep.
Yeah, he has it. There it is. You know, I always like to root for the guy who's losing, because I always just like to see it come down to like the very end.
But the other guy's losing. He's down a game.
Yeah, losing. I go by game basis. Like I want Austin to win, but I want Adam to make it like really close. I'm really conflicted.
Alright, this end could change everything. It's going to put Austin at 3 and Adam at 6. And this Keldeo EX is going to go down. I don't know. Could see a comeback.
This is exactly like the thing Blastoise has to avoid. This is why Tropical Beach is so good and so necessary for these types of situations.
Yeah.
So like, we have Rayquaza up and running. We have 3 Electriks on the field. Maybe 2, or 1 Electric, but the two other Dynamos, or something like that.
Yeah.
Can't really see with his hands in the way, but
Just 1 Eelektrik right
yeah.
now.
So now we're seeing hey, my Rayquaza is gonna go ballistic real quick. So this is gonna be like a real breakneck speed game if Adam can get out 2 more Electriks.
Yeah, it's honestly going to depend on that. And he does have an Ultra Ball.
Yes.
So if he can get 3 Electriks, what can happen with Keldeo is, since he's a Sky Hero out, all he has to do is have a Lightning every turn. He can just attach to the Keldeo, rush in, Dynamotor 3 times to Rayquaza, then retreat the Keldeo.
Yeah, and he can just Dynamotor onto it now, and now
do it this
his loop will be fine.
This is a really strong combo. Something I've seen implemented just kind of recently, just throw in Keldeo EX because of how often you need to switch with this deck, whether it's Eelektrik being stuck or just needing to power up Rayquaza again. It's a very good card, but it's only good when you have Sky Arrow. Otherwise, you have to retreat for 2.
Yeah, even then, sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
Like if you're if someone tries to stall you with catching your Electric, well, hey, I can just Dynamotor onto the Keldeo and rush in.
Oh, we got 5 energy. And a
Oh
Bianca.
wow! It's even full art just to mock you even more.
I see a retrieval, so he's got it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a 6 energy. Knockout, 1 hit. He's saying, Rayquaza, what? I can do that too.
So now it's gonna be like, hey, I have this fully powered Keldeo. You need to one-shot him right now, or
Yeah,
I win.
it's this turn or game over.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah. Like
He can't even do a paralysis trick because of Russian.
2 Russians cancels out the paralysis.
Everything gets knocked out by a secret sword for 170.
Yep, it's literally just this. Can he do it? Now, I mean, if he only runs 2 Rayquaza EXs, then
This would be a time where
game's over.
If you ran a Mewtwo, it would help.
Ooh, he might. You know, there's a lot of decks now running Mewtwo, no DCEs, but just one.
Yeah.
So when your opponent goes mad Keldeo or like 3 energy Mewtwo, you can just like nick them out of nowhere. So here we go. Adam kind of looks a little confident. I don't know. I say that about everyone who draws their card really
I
fast.
know. You think everyone's confident and they just pass.
Well, I mean, like, maybe they should show a little worry and concern on their hands.
Alright, so we got Juniper for 7. Does he draw any way to knock out this Keldeo? If he doesn't, game is over. I don't see it.
He's considering his options, but he just goes, nope, can't do it.
Nope. And just like that, Austin ties up the series 1-1, and we will go to another game 3.
So we've seen kind of like the more traditional hands from Adam. Like for Eelektrik, like Eelektrik is a little bit slower because it has to get all these pieces out. And Adam's like, well, I got all those pieces out, but as a cost, I didn't actually have any draw in my hand.
Yeah.
So normally when your hand's a little bit more balanced between the two, it takes a little longer, which is a little weird on how that one works. But
I mean, I think if Austin has that kind of a start, Adam's going to be in some trouble. But if we see him go like turn 3 Blastoise and just not as fast and gives Adam a little more time to set up, I think Adam is the favorite.
yeah, it's really just going to come down to who sets up first.
Yeah.
Who gets the first prize? Who knocks out whose EX in one shot first?
I feel like Adam actually has a bit more comeback potential, just because you can. It's much easier for him to knock out EXs back to back. But overall, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, I think Blastoise kind of tries to go for the overwhelming victory, where Eelektrik tends to go for the scrappy ones.
Yeah.
It's like, you beat me down, but I end you to 1, and then I just Rayquaza'd you 3 times, and that was it.
Pretty much, Dragon Burst is pretty good. Knocking out anything in one hit. It's not bad. Right.
Whereas, just because of the nature of Blastoise, it's very hand dependent, so N can like just do a number of terrible, terrible things to Blastoise.
I mean, N can hit any deck, but it does hit Blastoise the hardest. It's the same thing as when Emboar was in the format. It was the biggest weakness of that deck besides, well, Pokemon Catcher. But it's just being End, and you don't draw your energy anymore, so you can't attack anymore.
So, okay, it looks like we're starting up for Game 3.
Who do you think will go first?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd probably guess Austin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, like, the going second's great, right? Right?
Well, he did win the last game, so...
I just thought he just needed the extra advantage.
He's just like, no, actually, I'll go first. And I'm just like, what? But, okay.
In all seriousness, though, but Adam's obviously going to choose to go first.
Yeah.
Has that nice...
This is the time where Austin needs to bust out his first ticket. And then go first anyway.
I actually want to see that happen to someone in like a 2 out of 3 match where someone just like first tickets someone to the point where they actually just, even if it went to 3 games, they just went second every game.
Yeah, I did that when Sableye was in the format, the one that lets you go first. My opponent was game 2, and he's like, I'll go first, and I was like, nope.
Did you know that Sableye overrides first ticket?
Does it?
Yeah, if you think about it. Like, the way those two interact, like you do the coin flip, and then when you reveal after the coin flip. So, Sableye gets revealed afterwards, it just steals it back.
Wow, the more you know. Alright, so we have Adam starting off with, what's up, Fire on his Keldeo EX.
Well, he's really just putting anything on there. He knows that Keldeo is in a very dangerous spot. However, he does have Skyro. So he does have some things working out for him. He has Skyro, he has some Dynamo down. If he can just get a few more Dynamo down, and then like has a draw supporter, he'll be in great shape.
I don't know. I think it's a little strange to just attach a fire to Keldeo like that immediately when you're going to play an N. Maybe you can get a better attachment somewhere, but I guess some attachment is better than none at all.
Yeah, he's really just taking the safe route. He's just like, hey, you know, I've been drawing pretty badly. You know, pretty objectively, he's been drawing not so hot.
Yeah, that's true.
So he kind of maybe like feels it in his bones, and he's just like, just in case.
Yeah, that's always a point of concern for me too. Like, if I have an energy, but I have a supporter, I'd rather attach this energy somewhere else. But if I miss the energy, that'd be really bad. So it's always like this conflict. Do you want to just gamble and see what you draw?
Yeah. I think it's really about risks and rewards, and you know, the risk was just too high for like the little like adjustment you have to do. It's not a really big loss for him to lose one fire like this.
Yeah, and it allows him to just retreat at some point. Okay, so Austin, what does he have? He puts down a Squirtle. He has a rare candy. He's just going to take a look at the lightning in there. I think he's worried about his lone swirl being catchered. He has an Ultra Ball and a rare
And a
candy.
Juniper.
Yep. So he's worried about, oh man, what if this guy has, you know, electric, fire, catcher?
I think if I'm Austin, I would just pass here.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Yeah.
Just scary to know that if the Squirtle gets knocked out, I am in some trouble.
Yeah. I mean, like, that could happen. Remember, Austin also sees one fire on the Keldeo. Less of a chance of it happening.
Yeah.
Plus, that he also needs an electric and another fire and a catcher. I mean, it's not the tallest of
There's
orders.
a fire. There's an electric.
And this guy.
Does he draw?
Oh, yes, he does, and that's,
This is your worst nightmare as a Blastoise player.
you know, I mean, again, it's like cutting corners kind of thing, where you just try to be a little greedy, and then sometimes you just get caught for it, and this is just one of those times, you know, not having the second Squirtle out, but like, if this went unchecked, this would have been like,
it explodes into a rare candy Blastoise, everything.
this
I
would have been
think
the best.
The
for
biggest
Adam,
problem for
or
Austin is that he had he just drew a third rare candy. He
Ooh.
had two in his hand, so he was thinking, all right, if I go for like a Squirtle and Juniper, I have to discard two rare candies. What are my odds of like getting another rare candy and a Blastoise quickly enough? And now that's 3 rare candy.
And another thing is, a lot of builds for Blastoise have not been including War Turtle.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that's been catching on.
Yeah, I don't think he has War Turtle in his deck.
Yeah, people just go 4-0-3 Blastoise.
Yeah.
And
If I'm Austin here, I am checking my deck for that 4th rare candy.
yeah. You can't Juniper if it's prized.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You literally lose 100%.
Yeah.
But in which case, where does that leave you?
Yeah. Alright, so he's going to catch up the Keldeo and the Junipers. So he's going for it. The worst thing would be like if he had another situation where he had a Juniper away his 4th rare candy.
I've seen some scary situations where it's like,
Oh, that's a big card. He got his Tropical Beach to kick out the Sky
that is
Arrow.
huge. You know, a lot of electric decks only play one stadium. Rarely will we see 2 Sky Arrow bridges.
Yeah. So that's Sky Arrow is like one of the pieces, like you've been saying, that keeps the whole cycle together. If you don't have the Sky Arrow out there, it's just too tough.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Does he have the switch? There it is, yeah.
Wow.
Got a little worried for a second. I was like, oh no.
Does he think he can retreat? Nope. These players have all been pretty good. They understand everything that's going on.
Yeah, so, wow, this is just going to be a run over.
It could be.
Yeah, like, you have a Secret Sword going in for 110 next turn? But you have no Blastoise. And all, like...
3 rare candies and 2 Squirtles in the discard pile.
Yeah, this is, like, horrible, horrible news.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a danger of running Stage 2 decks. You know, you always need the rare candy and then the Stage 2. I mean, this doesn't happen very often, but you can hit games where this kind of stuff happens. Like, you just have to Juniper away a bunch of rare candies, and you just can't recover. It's not like you have Sableye to help you out with that.
And we have a second Dynamotor ready. So now he can even start powering up the bench Keldeo and make it retreat.
Yeah, I mean, he picked the right game to run good.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to run good on one, you got to run good on the third one.
Yeah. And here we go. Austin's just going to... I guess he can Secret Sword if he has a catcher. He can knock out an Eelektrik.
I mean, he has another Squirtle.
Okay, that's a start.
Can maybe attach.
He does have a Skyline, I think.
It's so tough.
Yeah, I agree.
He has a... Okay, well, he can get Blastoise out this turn. Because he does have an Ultra Ball. He has a Skyla.
Well, he just played down the Squirtle, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If only you could rare candy the same turn.
He used to be able to.
I know. Alright, so he just goes for a catcher. Now this makes it so it's actually impossible for Adam to get a knockout next turn on his Keldeo.
Well, he can just take out another Squirtle.
Yeah, he could do that. But the Keldeo is safe. You can only Dynamotor once, then attach once, so Dragon Burst doing 120. Unless he has an energy switch, then he can do 180. But I don't think he plays that.
That would be a wild card. Oh, man. If he just pulled that out of nowhere, I'd... Woo, that'd be so ridiculous.
Okay, and now Austin did get another catcher off his prize. So even though his Keldeo might get knocked out eventually, he'll at least be able to take out the Eelektrik and really just slow Adam down. If he can take out all the Electrics and then like nail an N, maybe he can start to come back.
So the Fire gets discarded or reshuffled back into the deck, and this is like he runs such a high Super Rod count that you know those early attachments we were talking about, they don't really matter that much.
Yeah,
like
it's true.
With two Super Rods, you can just do. You have so much liberties with cards like Juniper, Ultra Ball, retreating with Keldeos. You know, so much like flexibility.
Yeah.
It's really coming together for Adam in this third game.
All right, so he gets another Dynamo in play with the level ball. And let's see what he does this turn. I guess perfect scenario would be catcher Squirtle, knock it out.
Yeah. You know, he also drew a third Rayquaza EX, I think. So.
Well,
yeah.
He's got a computer search. All he has to do is attach, retreat after a Dynamotor, and he can catch a Squirtle and knock it out.
Yep, he's going for it.
Is that what he wants to do?
Wouldn't be bad. I mean, like...
you got to assume if Austin never, ever...
Oh!
Sky Arrow.
Two of them.
If Austin never, ever gets a Blastoise out, it's hard to see him winning. Keldeo's good, but you need a little acceleration at some point.
Adam, you, sir, have just made me go, wow. No, but seriously, like, two Sky Arrow is so uncommon.
He probably recognizes how important it is in the deck.
Yeah, I mean, that's clearly a very nice metagame read. You know, he's saying, hey, stadiums are becoming more prominent with cards like Tropical Beach, Pokemon Center, you know, even a Spurta Gym. That's seen some play. So now he's just like, you know what? Sky Arrow is my best stadium. I can abuse it the most out of everyone else. I'll just do that.
Yeah, might as well. So Austin will catch her up Eelektrik again. Gonna get another knockout on it. I do like he is correctly recognizing the strategy in this matchup. You have to take out the Electrics. You can't just go after Rayquazas. It's just they're gonna knock you on one hit, and you're probably not.
Yeah.
It's just like every other matchup. You go after the Electrics. As long as Pokemon catches in the format, I'm pretty sure that's the strategy against this deck.
So we see a Blastoise finally hit the field. That's like one of the things I kind of dislike about going after the like basics of the stage 2 for things like Hydreigon, Blastoise.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you're just gonna miss a turn, and then that's the turn they evolve.
They only need one out.
Yeah.
It's not like Eelektrik where they need like 3 out. So like even picking off one damages their strategy. It's just no, I just need one Blastoise, one turn, and I can dump all my energy.
And now we see a very tricky situation where it's, hey, look, he doesn't. Adam only has one Dynamo on the field. But even though Austin only has 3 Pokemon, he's fully set up.
Yeah.
You know, it's still anyone's game, but it's getting dangerous for Adam.
Yeah, but I think he got an Eelektrik off of that, so you can just attach Dynamotor, Retreat for free, and Dragon Burst for 120.
Thus is the beauty of Skyro. 2 of them, yeah.
He owns 2 bridges. Jeez, this guy must be rich.
2 bridges, controls 3 dragons, rides on a unicorn, and has like a pond full of fishes.
No wonder this guy's doing so well.
He's loaded.
We got a Super Rod, shuffling back a Fire, Dynamo, and an Eelektrik.
Yep.
So, geez, he's just constantly shuffling back in these Dynamos if they get discarded. So I do like his list for this deck. I mean, seems like people run just like 1 Super Rod and they never really get to use it at the right time. But when you play 2, you get to always cycle back these Dynamos, which constantly get knocked out every game.
And that's like another metagame call, I think. Like, he's just saying, hey, your strategy is to make my Dynamos go away. Well, I can just simply add in another Super Rod, and your strategy is just not that good anymore.
Yeah. Now, Austin, he has a Skyla and an Energy Retrieval. So I guess you would Skyla for Juniper?
Oh, it's so hard to tell, you know. Skyla's so coming down so late.
Yeah, I mean, do you have to take a supporter here, or do you just take another card and then just cross your fingers that you top deck a supporter? Is your situation that bad? He's going for a catcher. I actually like that.
Yeah. But the thing... Oh, so he's going after the Dynamo here.
He can X-ball it for a knockout, and he won't get knocked out next turn. It's impossible.
Not bad. I like it. I mean, you know, you may be able to build up a giant Mewtwo or something.
He needs to get a supporter, either off that prize or the top card. Otherwise, he's done for.
Well, not necessarily. He could always just retreating so bad because he discarded 3 rare candy.
Yeah.
This is like this slipped out of control so quickly with that 1 Juniper.
I mean, Adam's only got 2 prizes left.
Yeah.
He can Dragon Burst for 120 this turn, and all it takes is a catcher, and the game's over. Or even Raikou.
Yeah, I think once Raikou hits the board, that'll be like the thing, because you know that was Austin's 3rd catcher trying to get that Dynamo.
And a
or getting that.
Center.
Yep.
It's not that bad.
Well,
I mean, it is, and it isn't.
I mean, like.
Now he's gonna pay 2 to retreat, though.
Uh-oh.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gonna Pokemon Center and pass.
Yeah, he realized. I mean, like at this point, though, it's not too big of a deal.
If there's a catcher, it's game over. Even if there's no catcher, it's game over if this Blastoise gets knocked out.
Yeah, if it's Lightning or catcher, game over. If it's Raikou and Energy, it's game over. You know.
Yep.
Okay, so we probably have a catcher in store.
It's an Ultra Ball, I think.
Maybe he just goes for the 120? I don't know. So he's clearly setting up for... What if he just, like, Celestial Roars?
Passing. Oh, Juniper. Uh-oh.
It's still so tricky, though, because now it's like...
He would need... Well, I mean,
he needs Keldeo.
Yeah, Keldeo. You need to dump a bunch of energy this turn, basically.
It's like Keldeo 6 energies and 4th catcher.
Yeah, that's more than 7 cards.
Yeah. Or because he's at 3 prizes, so it's like because you have to get rid of that Rayquaza on the bench.
Right.
And if he doesn't,
if Adam doesn't have a catcher though, and he just knocks out the Blastoise, he goes just down to 1 prize.
Yeah.
So Austin needs to get a Keldeo and put 2 energy on it this turn at least to have a shot.
I agree. You know.
And the other thing is, he's gonna have to discard a Fire to retreat because the Pokemon Center's there now. There's no Skyro.
Well, he can maybe attack like
He can
Dynamotor.
rush in with Keldeo too.
He can Dynamotor Keldeo, and then put the 2nd Dynamotor on the benched Rayquaza.
That's true. Yeah.
Rush in, retreat for 2, and still keep the Fire on the bench, the newly benched Rayquaza.
Yeah, I think I saw a switch in his hand too, so he might have that option too.
He's loaded. Must be nice having all that money to afford a pony, dragons, koi fish,
Two bridges.
2 bridges.
In the sky, no less.
Those bridges are just floating. How else can you get to the dragons?
I didn't think about that one. It's like Dragon Ball Z. You know, the path where you go to after Goku dies.
Yeah. Snake Road.
Snake Road.
Yeah, Snake Road.
Alright, so here's an Ultra Ball. I think Austin has kind of realized what's going on. He definitely cannot rush in because he loses the game immediately.
Yeah.
I think he loses regardless. It just seems impossible.
Yeah, we have, like, he's just putting the energies on Keldeo. He's just going, oh, this is terrible. Come on.
We'll see what Adam does.
He has catcher, he wins.
Yeah, so we're going to see one Dynamotor.
And even if he, like, knocks out Blastoise, he probably still wins.
2
Yeah.
Dynamotors.
So he's definitely just, he at least takes the game-winning position here.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like this is just like watching that episode where Goku visited that house in the middle of the Snake Road. You remember that one?
I think so, yeah.
That's the Pokemon Center. It just stops you from going down your road.
Oh my god. So he Ultra Balls, and I guess Raiku's not in there. Otherwise, he just would have won.
Yeah. Well, maybe he just didn't have the MG to attach it with it, but
Yeah, that's true. I thought he attached, but he didn't. Oh,
he just goes for the Juniper.
I think he's got this one.
Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised if he didn't. I mean, even then, he can still knock out. Even if he whiffs completely, he just
7? No.
Yeah, he can just still knock out the Blastoise, no problem though.
Yeah, I mean, that's still like aggravating to be like.
There goes my last chance of energy acceleration.
I really have to win another game, or I have to win another turn to win this game. It just seems like you should have won already.
It's me. Sorry for wasting your time, sir, but I still like to maybe win this game.
Alright, if you're Austin here, I think, geez, you have to end.
Yeah, you have no other choice. Yeah, this turn's gonna be pretty simple. You end, hope you get a water, and then Secret Sword.
Yeah.
Just kind of cross your fingers.
I think perfect world is water catcher. Bring up an Eelektrik. Go on to 2 prizes. It just seems so impossible to win at this point. He's going to go for the Juniper. I'm pretty sure that's just it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't really be a way.
Don't worry, he's got a Squirtle.
Well, maybe he runs 4 candy and a War Turtle.
5.
I mean,
or a Recycle.
Oh, that would be dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recycle is actually not that bad in that deck. You know, you can recycle for like energy retrieval. No.
I remember your gold potion recycle list for Blastoise, so I don't want to hear it.
It was like good for like the good 10 minutes. I like hyped it up.
Alright, so we're gonna rush in. This is pretty much a formality at this point, I think. There we go. Secret Sword for 110, and if Adam, yep, there it is. 30 electric, even a lightning.
He's even doing 240.
There we go. Adam Bigott is gonna move on to the finals of the Des Plaines, Illinois City Championship. I don't know. What do you think?
I think Blastoise is just cursed.
I think so too. The undefeated player goes down again.
Yeah. You know,
Call that curse of the first.
it's not even, and they're always running Blastoise. Like, maybe if they were just running some other deck, they would have just won out. Who knows? But as long as, like, as silly as it seems, Blastoise is like, hey, I'm the king of Swiss.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Adam took out a Blastoise deck here, but in the finals, he's going to have to face some sort of a Darkrai deck. Do you think he's got what it takes to win the whole thing?
Well, it really depends on what Darkrai deck comes out of it. You know, if Matt Moss, he's playing these Crushing Hammers, if he can come out of it, then, you know, who knows what can happen. Like, all the fires go away, but he does have countermeasures for this. 2 Super Rods, very important. Where if it's Hydreigon, well, that can go, like, I think Electric's a little bit of a favorite versus Hydreigon.
Probably even, probably.
Yeah.
Just to have the Hydreigon able to knock out a Rayquaza EX in one hit is a pretty big deal.
However, the Rayquaza can knock out any of the EXs is a pretty big deal too.
That's true. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see when we get to that. Thank you for watching the top 4. We'll be back for the final shortly, so hang tight, guys, and we'll be right back.